What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Kind of Funny podcast. I'm one of your hosts, Greg Miller, alongside the producer slash seducer, Nick Scarpino.
Top of the midday to you, Greg.
Top of the midday to you. Just poured myself another huge cup of coffee. I'm ready to rock and roll, if you know what I mean. Oh, there it is.
Oh, good stuff.
Zero sugar 7-Up is what we're drinking over there, Nick.
Oh, good stuff.
When did you make this switch? Is this have I been behind on my Kind of Funny lore? I haven't seen you drink the 7-Up zero sugar.
No, this is my nighttime juice because it doesn't have caffeine in it. So when I'm gaming out there, when I'm out there on Verdansk slaying on the pavement, as the boys and girls say,
do they say
I don't
that?
like to be. No, nobody says that.
Okay,
but I like to have a little something sweet at night that doesn't keep me up all night.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. That's understandable. Did you find the Coke Zeros, the DCs, they were all keeping you up? They're keeping you too wired?
Yeah, I just drink too much of them. And then, about 2 o'clock in the morning, I'm like, what about my taxes next year? What's happening with my taxes a year from now? I start worrying about shit I don't have to worry about. So
I can see you laying there wide awake, D's asleep next to you. It's 3 a.m. You're like, I need to worry about taxes for next year already.
I got to figure this shit out. It went fine this year. What if it doesn't go fine next year?
Exactly.
Stuff like that, yeah.
Of course, joining our trio, he is Forbes 30 under 30, a.k.a. the second best baby blues in San Francisco, a.k.a. the verified one at Tim Gettys.
Let Tim host. I was just telling Nick, I haven't been on a show with him in what feels like forever. So this is weird.
Yeah,
this feels like coming back from summer break. I think this might be the longest Nick and I have went not being on a show together.
Really?
Like,
how long has it been?
Since I've took like a week off to go to Hawaii in 2017. I don't know. It just feels like forever.
I feel the same way. Like we were, it was last week, I think, where Nick and I had a similar comment where we were talking about something on a show or a meeting, and it was the first time we had been together in a while because I'd missed whatever and yada yada yada. Because that crazy time of year right now, and that's the thing to do. Everybody, all three, Nick, Tim, me, Kevin, if you want to, but you guys, breathe it in for a second. Just take it. I was having this similar conversation with Tim on Slack a second ago, but can you believe our little fucking company that is Kind of Funny? Can you fucking believe all the cool shit we do, the team we have, the opportunities that are presented to us each and every day right now? Like, it's crazy. When you have a moment to step back, and for me, it's that I got the script for E3 and I was talking to Tim about it. I was reading through it. No spoilers, everybody. Don't worry. Most of it's like all, hey guys, if you enjoyed what you saw on XXXX, you'll enjoy, like, you know what I mean? Shit like that right now. But the fuck, like, I'm hosting E3 next week. And then you look around and Nick's streaming Verdansk every day and hosting boat shows. Tim's bringing in all sorts of just amazing deals and partnerships and things for us to do. Then you start talking about the team we have and what Roger has brought to the table and what he's editing and the things he's working on. You talk about what Mike's doing with the Twitch stuff. You talk about what Blessing's doing on game side, let alone the people who've been here even longer than that. It's like, holy fucking shit. This is a stupid idea that I pitched you guys coming back from a VidCon in an airport, right? That I wanted to talk about Oreos and eventually make a show about wings. And here we are. Holy fuck.
It took me 7 years or so, but I finally bought a cup to fit my unsatiable thirst.
Sure. Your drinking problem, as you always said. Yeah.
Oh, exactly. I thought you had like a cup holder built into your desk. I was like, why don't you just build it to whatever other cups?
So this thing is kind of a revolution for me, guys.
Yeah.
It's a big deal. This cup specifically, because it's what I've always wanted but didn't realize existed. And I've done quick Google searches to try to get there, but it's never led me where I want to go for all the specific reasons, because I'm very specific about this stuff. But I wanted at least 30 ounces of fluid goodness, like my beloved Trent Ice coffee, right? But the problem I have is anytime you get one of the bigger cups, it's thick all the way. It's always way too big to grab. This is made at the bottom part to be able to describe. It's a normal pint glass.
That could fit into your car too. In your cup
cup holder in my theater chairs. That's a big issue. Wine glasses don't fit down here.
See, you'll remember correctly. Not
alcoholic anymore.
They had this issue with like big. They still have this issue, by the way, and this is something that Metron needs to figure out, because last time I went to a movie 3.5 years ago, you get the big cup, and there was a moment where it didn't fit in the actual cup holder anymore. Because it would fit in, Greg, but it wasn't it didn't hold enough of it.
Wasn't
So
secure.
that like 90% of it was hanging over, and then it became very top heavy. And of course,
you do that thing where somebody comes through with their fat ass
and they're
they
just
they
spilling it
blink,
all
and it's
over.
over.
Yeah,
You're
exactly.
dunking soda. Everybody looks at you and says, "Jizz jeans," and you say, "No, it's not jizz jeans.
It's not jizz."
It was
They're like,
soda.
"Why is it
They
sticky?"
spilled
And you go,
soda."
"I don't know." But no, Tim, that's huge right there, right? That's why like I love going to like, you know, you go to like Taco Bell, you go to Del Taco, whatever, specifically, and they've got the big mega cup with the tiny little butt for that specific purpose because they know it's going in your car, and that's huge.
It's huge, man. But to be able to have a nice quality cup with the colors that I love, right? All of this is good for Tim Gettys here. Fantastic stuff. This thing was $13.
Here's the question I haven't fully been able to grasp as you do it. Oh, that this might okay. So it's a two-tone cup. It's not that I'm seeing through the plastic.
No, it's two-tone.
It's two-tone.
Gotcha. Yeah. Okay. Cool. I wasn't sure if that was the level of beverage inside of it.
No. Pretty little gradients. But anyway, having a good time with it. Very stoked about this experience as a whole. And Nick, you bring up an interesting point about the theaters because you're right. There was a moment in time where theater chairs couldn't hold the girth.
It couldn't keep up with the demand of the gallonage.
But most theaters, at least in big city areas, have taken this last year to kind of renovate a lot of the auditoriums. So there's been a lot of changes made in the chair technology and the cup holder technology. So we're looking pretty good. And I would know this because I was teasing it a couple weeks ago that I was like, oh, there's a new theater opening near me. I'm really excited for it. But is it going to open? Is it not? I don't believe it. It finally fucking opened. It's been open like 2 days, and I've already seen 2 movies.
Wow.
Feeling real good about it.
Wow.
What'd you see?
I saw A Quiet Place Part 2.
Cruella?
No, and then I saw Spiral, the new Saw movie.
Oh,
cool.
I highly recommend one, and I don't recommend the other.
Okay, so definitely go see Spiral.
You can figure that.
Go see Spiral.
Don't know about that. If you want to watch another Chris Rock stand-up special, watch the first 15 minutes of Spiral.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
I love that. That sounds fun.
Jokes aside, watch A Quiet Place. It's fucking awesome. Incredible.
I went back to the theater for the first time and saw A Quiet Place Part 2. I'm doing my part.
Oh, good for you.
And let me tell you, the shit these fucking theaters are talking about streaming services and stuff and their pre-roll entertainment. I'm like, I get it. You're scared. Why are you ruining this? You're back. I'm here. You know, I want to be at home, but I'm here. Congratulations. I gave you the fucking $14. And then I got to sit here and be like, the Black Widow wasn't meant to be seen like this. And I'm like, you motherfuckers, I'm not watching it on my phone. I have a nice TV. Stop being an asshole.
I had a 65
scale though, Greg. It's
John
scale.
Krasinski pops up to thank me for going to the theater. It's like, I get it, Krasinski. I see what you're up to.
Theaters wouldn't exist, Greg. This is a pivotal moment in time right now.
They're gonna stop calling them theaters and call them Krasinskis from now on. I had an interesting run-in with the Quiet Place franchise the other week. I'm doing my boat show. This is a fucking weird story. Doing my boat show.
Yeah, I know. That's an interesting setup, and I think already is going to be an interesting story. An interesting run-in with the Quiet Place franchise. I was doing a boat show.
So Tim, of course, went on Thursday, but I couldn't go with him on Thursday because I had Friday, Saturday, Sunday boat shows and I had to keep a little in the pocket, if you know what I mean, hold it a little bit back. So Tim, I'm sorry I couldn't go with you. It sounded like it was really fun. But my wife went out of town this weekend. It was the first weekend she'd traveled in a long time. She went to Scottsdale to go see her family. And I called her. I like text, I'll text her on the way back home, but I'm like, I don't expect her to be up at 11 o'clock at night or 11:30 when the boat docked. Everyone got home. Anyway, she texts me right back. I'm like, this is weird. I'm like, what is she doing right now? Call her. And I just say this, hello. I'm like, what's going on? I'm like, why are you still up? She's like, why didn't you tell me A Quiet Place was so good? I'm watching it on FX right now. I can't stop watching it, but I'm so tired. I'm like, dude, go to bed. You can rent it. She watched the whole thing. She watched it with commercials on FX for like 2.5 hours. I was
going to say, so it stretches out to like three and a half.
So long. But she was like, this is a really, really good movie. I was like, I told you it was a good movie. And she goes, well, I just thought it was some like a bad kind of B movie horror movie. And I'm like, no, it's a really cool movie about a family and like so we might go see Quiet Place 2 hopefully this weekend. I'm not gonna drag her out to it. It'd be fun.
See, Nick, that's the thing you gotta understand when she sees you watching every bad 80s film or seeing whatever comes up on the Netflix Blade next, like you lose that credibility where you can tell her a movie's good, but she thinks it's on the Nick Three Finger scale somewhere in here.
You think my credibility is shot when she comes out and I'm watching Rodney Dangerfield's Ladybugs? He's like, we gotta win the soccer game.
You're like, they do have to win. They do have to win. Yeah,
they gotta
exactly.
Win.
Newell says in the live chat on patreon.com/kindafunny, Maria Menudo still got them pre-show clips though. That she does, and I won't lie, I did get a little sappy seeing her. It was nice to see Maria there on a terrible at home green screen telling me about Nuvi stuff. It's like whatever, all right, cool.
My God, it was horrible. I couldn't believe the setup she had. I'm also lagging harder than I've ever lagged on a Discord call, and it's hard to hear you guys right now. If you guys experience that as well.
Yeah, exactly. I wasn't sure if that was just
me,
but I see you guys too. Okay.
Yeah. Which she's the big question, Greg.
Maybe it won't. But Maria Menounos, man. Shoulder pads, yeah.
Remember we saw that last time.
She was green screened, and
here's
they
the deal
didn't
with
even
Maria.
try.
No. Here's the deal with Maria Menounos, right? I respect her, but she was getting a little big for her britches right before this whole thing happened, right? Because she clearly knew the status that doing the in-theater how
is she too big for her britches?
Because, bro, the last time I saw her, she looked like she stepped out of an episode of Star Trek: The Next Generation with this costume they had her in with these big ass shoulder pads, and she was glitter. She looked like she was Splinter, like she was wearing that blouse that Splinter wore in TMNT. And I'm like, Maria, you're getting, watch the ego. Let's just check the ego, Maria. And now she's coming back. It's good to see she's coming back a little more like level 1.
TMNT Secret of the Ooze. She's super Maria Menounos now. That's how.
Well, is she? Because it's honestly like what Nick's saying. She was
I'm just joking around.
She was humbled, obviously, and having her, shoot from her green screen at home now and do this. And I also don't remember it being Nuvi when she left. Wasn't it? Did something happen? Did Nuvi buy a bunch of stuff for movies? I don't know what happened here.
It's been Nuvi. Nuvi's the weird thing where it's like, take out your phone now and take down the aliens.
Nuvi, but I've never seen that shit before. And granted, I guess I've been mainly at Alamo, but even when we went to AMC, I guess because she's Cinemark, right? Isn't that the deal?
She's all over the place.
Is she? I don't know. This Nuvi thing is all over the place.
What
I did appreciate about it. What I appreciated about her pre-show entertainment is that she slipped in. You but watch my podcast or listen to my podcast, Better Together with Maria Menounos, and she said, "I guarantee it will change your life." And I looked at Jen and I was like, "I guarantee it won't," but I appreciate the pitch. Imagine if that's like. If I was on whatever, I'm guesting on Min-Max or whatever, like, all right, Greg, anything to say before you go? Yeah, make sure you check out the Kind of Funny podcast. It will change your life.
I guarantee it will change your life. Like that's an extra level of just insanity there.
Damn, Maria.
The pre-show stuff. I think I talked about this on Games Daily or something, but for you guys, a fun moment I had was they played that Welcome Back to the Movies Marvel trailer that is like the most hype thing in the history of the world. Where it goes and you see the Endgame reactions, then it goes into all the new movies coming out over the next 2 years. They played that before the movie I watched. And as I walked down the hall to go to the bathroom, I heard it playing in multiple other auditoriums. And I'm just like, this is awesome. I love that it's just Fast and Furious and MCU just blasting left and right. One ear, I'm hearing Dom's voice. One ear, I'm hearing the freaking Marvel Studios theme. And I'm just like, this is where I belong, everyone.
Who would have thought the fate of theaters would be left up to the Disney Corporation and Vin Diesel? Those are the two entities. I'll put Vin Diesel as an entity. I don't think he's a human anymore. I think he's beyond that now. But I'll put those are the two cornerstones for bringing theaters back to life. I'm all for it. Why not?
Did y'all see the giant poster they put up in billboard they put up in LA yesterday for Fast and Furious?
No.
Oh, Helen Mirren, right?
Yeah. I'm going to send this to assets right now, Kev. If you could bring this up, it's going to make everyone's life better. It'll change your life. I guarantee it.
While you do that, Kevin, let me remind everybody that this is the Kind of Funny podcast. Each and every week, 3, sometimes 4, sometimes 5 best friends gather on this table, each coming to bullshit about whatever it is they want to bullshit about. If you like that, and so many of you do, you can go to patreon.com/kindoffunny. Of course, on patreon.com/kindoffunny, you can write in with your questions, comments, concerns, and topics of bullshit for us to discuss. Of course, on patreon.com/kindoffunny, you can get a whole bunch of exclusive shows like the Kind of Funny Next Gen podcast, like the Q&A show we do each and every month, and so much more. Plus, you can get the show ad-free. You can get it with the exclusive post show we do each and every episode, and you could be watching live right now, just like Madeline Stanley is, Joshy G is, Mike LR. However, if you have no bucks to toss our way on patreon.com/kindoffunny, it's no big deal. You can wait. Go to youtube.com/kindoffunny, roosterteeth.com, and podcast services around the globe each and every week, twice a week, sometimes with guests, but not, well, I was gonna say not this week, but we already put up Mom's episode. Or wait, how's that work this week? Is there another episode coming this week, or is this that week? How's it work?
This is the week. This is the week.
Okay. Well, we're doing what I'm saying.
Kind of funny podcast this week that's going live to the public.
We're still recording another one, but we're not doing guests because E3 is so crazy and the schedule's so crazy. We wanted to try to make it all, just us. But even then, we failed. Andy, I hate to break it to everybody. He went off to buy some Takis. You know what happened? Raccoon showed up, looked at him, 2 snakes out of his eyes into Andy's eyes. Didn't even bite him. He just got snakes in the eyes.
2 snakes out of the raccoon eyes into Andy's eyes?
That's right, buddy.
Snake eyes, man.
You know what I mean? You ever see that movie? The one, girls, good news, your prom dates are here. Bad news is they're dead. Fuck, Slither? Night of the Slither and Night of the Creeps? Night of the Creeps? But they think, spoilers for Night of the Creeps, everybody, an 80s horror movie you probably didn't see. But it's like Slither. Anyways, at the end, they think it's over. Like, oh, we burned them all to death. That's great. And the dog comes up and she's like, oh, hey, dog. And the dog goes, bah, and the fucking shoots one out in her mouth. Fucking disgusting. And it's so sad. Night of the Creeps. Thank you, Madeline Stanley. Housekeeping for you. I see Tim getting ready to say something. Is it about Night of the Creeps? If it's about Night of the Creeps, I'll let it stand.
It's a segue from that, but I can do it later.
Well, you got to segue to Helen Mirren after this too. I want you to
Yeah.
think about Night of the Creeps. All right, keep thinking about Night of the Creeps, everybody. All right. Housekeeping for you. Guess what, everybody? As this is the final Kind of Funny podcast for this week. There's a lot more coming, including Conjuring in review. That's right. Conjuring, The Devil Made Me Do It is out this week, this Friday, HBO Max, theaters everywhere, getting good reviews. Can't fucking wait. And so Conjuring in review is back with the Elise and James Willems. The thing is about it, though, since it comes out on Friday, we're watching it on Friday on HBO Max and then immediately doing the show. So it'll be up sometime on Friday to get your scary vision in there or whatever for sometime on Friday and sometime of the week. But
the return of Greg Miller to In Review, which
you see that tweet the other day? I was like, man, I haven't been on In Review in a while.
I did, and it scared me. I'm
gonna come in with some energy. You know what I mean? Not to mention it. Like again, I love a good Conjuring movie, and as the record shows, I love a good bad Conjuring movie. So if this is actually a good Conjuring movie, and look at it. We got Vera, we got Patrick, the dynamic duo back together. You fucking kidding me right now? Ed and Lorraine.
What did the devil make them do?
What are you gonna? Oh, did you see? I'm actually kind of mad because when I went to see Quiet Place, I got to see trailers obviously beforehand, and they showed this one, and I knew nothing about this movie. So I watched it. And I'm like, now I haven't
seen a trailer.
Oh man, I don't want to ruin it for you, but let's just say the devil. You know what I mean? He's out there and he's making people do things. He's poking them with his little pick forward, going, "Do it or I'll get you. I'm the devil. Do it or I'll get you, Kevin." Kevin, right now the devil shows up. What do you say to him?
How can I serve you?
He ain't saying shit.
How can I serve?
How can I serve?
Are we no longer on the devil's side? Are we no longer on the devil's side?
I didn't know where you were going to be. I didn't know where you'd be.
All right.
The devil conjures, and he's not like a fun he's not like the fun devil. He's not like John Lovitz in the devil outfit from SNL. I think the definitive devil. Nick, am I wrong?
Definitely. Yeah, definitely.
So I think this is more the scary Conjuring kind of like, what's the demon that was in Annabelle? What was his fucking name? You know what I'm talking about. Kukui. It's like Kukui. It's like that.
No, it was you remember all the names. What didn't you?
Well, yeah, but this is a long time ago. I don't know.
Yeah, but don't you know
Bathsheba.
Yeah. Tim was like Bathmasma.
Bath
algebra.
But it doesn't matter. Kevin, scary devil shows up. It's behind your bed. It like comes up. It still offers. It's like, hello, I have a deal to offer you. What do you say?
Black demon back. Ah!
That's right, Kevin.
Fuck, are you kidding me? Kevin's gonna be like this. Listen, bro, I've been waiting for you. And then Kevin will tell him what's up, and the devil will be like, damn, I never looked at it like that. I work for you now.
I work for you now.
I work for you now.
I want to see that coming. Thank you to our Patreon producers. Oh, damn, did I fuck this up? I don't think I changed this. I didn't change the verbiage from the last one. Thank you to our new Patreon producers, all right? Donovan Harkness, Joshua Schroeder, Delaney Twinning, Julian the Gluten-Free Gamer, Steve Powers, and Donovan Harkness once again. That's right. Donovan supported twice because he's so nice for the price. I'm trying to rhyme other words. He eats rice.
Mm-hmm.
I got nothing else. I can't think of it. Kevin, what did you have? I'm sure you had one ready to go. Throw in my face.
Mice.
God damn it.
Lice.
Today we're brought to you by Babbel, but I'll tell you about that later. For now, Tim, show me this Helen Mirren picture.
Yeah, if we could bring it up, Kev, I'd appreciate it. I love this. I love more than anything that Helen Mirren is in the Fast universe, that she is the mother, the matriarch of the Fast and Furious saga. And the fact that she gets this giant billboard poster on the side of a building is so special, because we know that Fast 9, for marketing, they did these photo shoots with all the main characters, and they each get their own color and their own car and all this stuff. Helen Mirren wasn't one of them. This picture has never been released until this, which is the best, because there's been like 15 of them otherwise. But no, Helen Mirren coming through.
She deserves it.
There's so many things that I wish I can go back in time and tell our previous selves. And I wish there was a Game Over Greggy show at some point where Nick was talking about his love for Helen Mirren. And all of us were like sharing it, and of course, because she's the best. And I would have never known she'd end up not only in the Fast and Furious at all, but getting a fucking billboard. At this
point, you have to assume everyone is going to end up in Fast and Furious and or the MCU.
Yes,
that's the big thing about it.
Why not both?
Why not both?
He did 100%. He's Groot. He's Dom.
Of course.
He's all of it. He's all of it.
Yeah.
Now, jumping off of what we were talking about a second ago, you mentioned that movie I haven't seen. Which was
Night of the Creeps.
Night of the Creeps.
Kevin, I'm going to get you the Night of the Creeps trailer, okay? Because if Night of the Creeps is going to be this important, it's a 1986 flick.
I can get
Well, okay then. I'm looking right here.
Are the Creeps the ones that slithered around?
Yeah, they were like, I think they were the precursor to James Gunn's Slither, but I can't prove that. Here, actually, I'll DM James Gunn and ask him right now. Oh my God.
Do you really want to waste your
Slither
verified tweet at James Gunn with some bullshit like this?
You just fucked up. Do I want to waste my verified tweet? No, I told you I would DM him. I DM him bullshit all the time. Hey, James.
Hey man, it works out sometimes, and sometimes it backfires horribly. What can you say?
How much influence did Night of the Creeps have on Slither? Thank you. And it's sent. There you go. That's how we get information. All right, everybody, real quick. Tim, you've never seen this film. You say 1986, Night of the Creeps, an influential movie to Poe and myself, to where I believe this is one of the only VHSs Poe still has. He bought it after we rented it and fell in love with it. Kevin, please play it.
You guys hear anything?
No.
No.
No, I do.
Really?
Yep. Yeah, we do now. It's very quiet.
Very quiet. You're going to have to turn this up.
It is going to be the best night of their lives. But tonight is also the night of the creeps. From a world unknown comes a nightmare unimagined.
Yeah, this is the scene I remember right here. This is terrifying.
On you. And then inside you.
They get in through your mouth and you walk around while they incubate, even if you're dead.
They are a new breed of terror.
Freeze!
They are a different kind of horror.
Zombies, exploding heads, creepy crawlies.
We could have a little problem.
The creeps are taking over.
I got good news and bad news, girls. The good news is your dates are here.
What's the bad news?
They're dead.
You have never had a
Nailed
night
it, Greg.
like this.
I'll be honest with you, I don't think that's good news.
Night of the creeps. If you scream, you're dead.
Holy shit.
And I know what you're thinking. You guys were thinking, wait a second, was that Rusty from National Lampoon's Vacation having a deal? It was Rusty.
Wow.
One of the Rusties, obviously.
I was going to say one of the Rusties. It wasn't.
It wasn't Anthony Michael Hall.
Glickman or whatever. Yeah, Anthony Michael Hall was the first one, and then he from European Vacation?
Yeah, that's not. Yeah, he's that. The one right there was European Vacation.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I'm sorry. Now that you've been briefed on Night of the Creeps, Tim, the ball is back in your court.
Thank you. I appreciate that. So phase 1 of my theater has been complete for a while. I'm now moving on to phase 2. So there's been a lot of planning, a lot of just stuff going on, a lot of decisions that have to be made. And one of them is there's a section of the room that needs a little rug action. So I've been trying to figure out what that looks like, because I have a very dominant color rug, as you can see here.
Yes. If you're an audio listener, it's mainly white, but then it's got a bunch of triangles on it. And so you got blue triangles, aqua triangles, gray triangles, maybe the white triangles, but it looks like a white carpet with triangles.
Imagine a lot of Triforces next to each other, 2 shades of blue, 1 shade of white, 1 shade of gray. It's just all over the place. It matches the aesthetic of the room, period. But I was talking to G and I was just like, yeah, I mean, like, we need to work around that because the rug really ties the room together. Like, everything has to be around that. And she made some reference to me being the Big Lebowski. Yeah. And I was just like, I've never seen that, which is shocking to many people. But she was like, oh, yeah, that's a big thing in that movie is the rug tying the room together. And
that's the whole point of the rug. Yeah.
I was like, what? Okay, I guess. So then
you should watch it. I'm gonna ruin it for you.
Well, last night, she was just like, let's fucking watch it. And I was like, okay. And I now have a new top 3 favorite movie of all time.
Whoa!
Best movie ever made. Are you kidding me?
Form of the Big Lebowski.
And
like, does that make me the most basic bitch of all time?
No.
Absolutely. The amount of things in this feature film that I'm like, oh, that's why that guy I knew always drinks White Russians.
Yeah.
Like, that's why that guy says this, that.
Mr. Lebowski asked me to remind you. He said her life is in your hands.
The dude obliges. The dude abides.
The dude abides, yeah.
The dude abides. I've heard some form
abides,
of
man.
Abides so many times, and now I honestly, it all
part of that movie
fucking makes sense.
It's when he's in Jackie. Well, first off, the part where they introduced like not the bad guy, but the guy's like a pornographer, Jackie something or other.
Treehorn, Jackie Treehorn.
Hi, dude. I'm Jackie Treehorn. Thanks for coming. But it's like the most epic shot of him walking, and it's a beach and a bonfire, and they're like doing the blanket thing where they throw people up in the air, and then he takes it back to the house and he writes something down. Like he's like, sorry, dude, I gotta take this phone call. Takes a phone call, starts writing something down on the pad, and then the dude tries to pull like the sneak thing where he shades over it with the pencil, and it's just like a figure of a dude with a big schlong.
Big ass dick.
He's just a drawing of a dude.
He just
keeps going. He's like, what the fuck?
I swear to God, it's a fucking brilliant movie. And I know
it's
I'm not like
Brothers. It's genius.
I'm preaching to the choir. I'm not telling anybody something they don't know, but I didn't know it. And I'm sure there's a ton of best friends out there that haven't seen the movie, have just heard of the movie, have heard of the dude, all the stuff. You need to watch this goddamn movie. It is utterly fantastic. And it is just probably the best example I've ever seen of just a movie that just introduces characters for the sake of having dope characters. And it works from beginning to end. There's just probably 15 different characters that get introduced where you're just like, you are everything I needed at this moment. And you can come back again in the movie or not. It doesn't matter because it is just perfect and awesome. It is like everything I like about Tarantino movies, but it's funny. And I'm like, holy shit, this is kind of just the ideal Tim movie.
It's the best character in that whole movie is John Turturro.
Oh my God.
He is
the
Jesus. And the first time you see him, Tim, the biggest I've laughed, I think, in ever is when he is like, it's just the top-down shot of the ball, and he just puts his hand, like one hand over it, and then his other hand kind of goes over to. It's just that whole sequence and it's to the Spanish version of Hotel California, as he starts he throws a strike and then starts dancing in slow motion, and looks at him and like fucking does one of the finger. It's the best
ball.
It's the best. Oh yeah, yes. The best intro for any character ever. And then he was like, don't talk to that man, Donnie. That man's a pederast.
Donnie's whole character arc is the best. But the thing about Jesus, that is my favorite thing is everything you just said, Nick, him being all in purple, like doing that whole thing, his little sidekick guy also being in purple, and it just being ridiculous.
He like looks at it, he like points at him and he points back at us. Fucking great, man.
And I was like, he was actually the moment that I looked at G at some point. I was just like, he can either come back in this movie or not. And it would just work. And the fact that he does come back, but he's wearing blue the next time, and so is his sidekick, and it's not explained. There's no reason, but it's just like every other character has only worn one outfit the entire fucking movie. But this guy, the guy that I defined as the purple dude, is now not the purple dude. Like, it's just brilliant fucking shit. And Philip Seymour Hoffman,
so good,
takes it so seriously. He's just this butler character, and he just talks to Jeff Bridges, calls him the dude, and takes it so seriously the entire time. I love it.
Him, and then of course John Goodman being
John
Goodman just being the powerhouse that John Goodman is. And I remember seeing him in that, and
more
just
like John Greatman.
He's big.
Damn, Kevin.
Thank you.
Good one, Kevin. Yeah, that movie is one of those. It's one of those like you see it and you instantly know you're like this has got to be on my top 10 list of movies that are just because you're right, Tim. It's like it's that perfect comedic Coen Brothers style where it's twisted a little bit, but it's more fun. And like the dude character played by Jeff Bridges is so charming that you can't not like him, even though he's a complete and total idiot the entire time and stumbling through this whole little adventure. I love it.
Tara Reid.
That's
Julianne
right.
Moore.
Yeah,
Julianne
Moore.
Fucking Moore. Like literally the cast just keeps getting more and more insane. It's just I can't believe it. And again, like my one-liner for this thing is I can't believe it lived up to the hype. I thought that this was one of those things where I was like, I wasn't there at the time. I wasn't the right age group, whatever. No, this
Sam
is
Elliott at the end just to
fantastic.
narrate it. Like
it's beautiful.
It's great.
You have to curse so much.
You have to curse
Yeah,
so
for
much,
me,
dude.
honestly, the first time I saw Big Lebowski, it didn't live up to the hype because I saw it in college. So, like, that's a 98? 98?
I'm pretty sure it's 98.
So I must have seen it in 2002, 2003, and it was already like a juggernaut at that point. But I remember I'm not expecting what it was, which threw me and then put me on my heels for the whole viewing. And it wasn't until like, you know, how it wasn't, at least for how it was for us in college, you'd watch the same movies over and over and over again. Like later that week or next week, watching it again with like pretty much the same group of one other person. That's when I was like, oh, and it started to click. And that's a movie that every time I watch, I get more out of. And I think part of it is the idea that as we just went through and like we're forgetting characters or people are bringing up different characters, there's something different to like every time. And like you're saying, Tim, that somebody can enter the picture and then leave and you don't know if they're coming back or if they matter at all. You can remember the actual plot of Big Lebowski and forget so much stuff around it to bring it all back to have it. Isn't it Flea's in it too? Isn't he one of the nihilists?
Yeah, he's
one
of the
They're nihilists, Donnie.
Yeah, good Lord. Honestly, I really messed up like how I was talking about this earlier about the comedy aspect. This movie is Tarantino meets Kevin Smith. Where it's just it's the Tarantino-esque, like the mature nature of it all, and the way that it's edited and presented, and the storyline is like it matters, but it also really doesn't. But the Kevin Smith element of just every single character is to the tens, and putting them together is what really makes it special. And you see one group and another group, and you're like, there's no way they're going to make them interact. And then they do. And you're just like, oh my God, that was more than I could have ever asked for.
Oh, dude. So if you want to go down the rabbit hole of Coen Brothers movies, you should watch Fargo next. Fargo, it's not this level of humor, right? This is like kind of zany. Fargo is like very, very intense, but it's a wonderfully made movie. It was on TV the other day. I think it was on HBO the other day. And I sat down, I was like, don't even do it because I have to watch the whole thing. But it's like how like it put like William H. Macy and Frances McDormand like on the map. But then you start to see, Tim, that the Coen brothers worked with a lot of the same actors throughout all of their films. And so that one of the guys that plays the nihilist, Peter Stormare, that guy that's like always I think he was like one of the bad guys in Bad Boys 2. He's that Russian bad guy that's always that guy. I think he's in Fargo as well. And I think Frances McDormand obviously ended up working with them a bunch of times too. I think she married one of them. Could be wrong.
Coen Brothers in a review. Make it happen, Tim.
Oh, I love that. We can start with Barton Fink or whatever the first movie was.
Aren't there like, I was gonna say there's like actually a bunch of movies we've never people ever. I guess you have to go into what they direct, right?
There's quite a few that are not my favorite movies, just because they have a very dark style and a very, very like stylistic style, and so a lot of them aren't very great for. I would say Big Lebowski is probably the most like accessible of the movies that they've made.
Really
a lot of people like Oh Brother, Where Art Thou a lot.
I really liked Oh Brother, where the Soggy Bottom Boys.
I couldn't get into Hail Caesar. I couldn't get into it.
Sucks.
It.
Boom.
No.
Damn.
But
What I said to that.
Big Lebowski is like when it's Caucasian, man. He refers to the White Russian as a Caucasian. Come on, dude. Classic. There's a beverage here, man.
They did No Country for Old Men. I didn't know that.
Did they?
According to the Wikipedia.
I didn't know that. Yeah, they didn't write it though. That was a Cormac McCarthy book. They must have just been guns for hire on that.
Well, I think they're credited as writers, but it's based on the novel. Yeah.
Yeah, that movie was. So Fargo is more akin to No Country for Old Men as far as its tone, but it's also it's weird. I mean, it's like Minnesota, right? I think is where it takes place.
Yeah,
Fargo,
North Dakota.
North Dakota. Thank you. And it's a really well crafted, very, very well acted movie. Steve Buscemi also in that movie as well.
So good. What a gem. Yeah. I want to take this conversation. I want to still own the conversation for a second, if y'all boys will allow that.
It's the Tim Gettys podcast.
Thank you. I appreciate that. That means it's going one of two ways, either MCU or Fast and Furious. And we're going MCU right now. Kev, I just sent you a something to assets if you could bring it up here. I saw this and I was like, I can guarantee Nick's going to get a kick out of this. Okay. And Greg, he'll have fun too.
I love having fun.
Thank God Andy's not here. That's all I'll say.
May he never be forgotten. Old snakes in the eyes, Andy Cortez.
On the Marvel Studios subreddit, someone posted MCU cast first credited TV or film roles. Cool. And it's just kind of fun to go back and watch it. So this on the left is Chadwick Boseman in All My Children in 2003.
Wow.
Unrecognizable, honestly. Then we got yes, that is Tom Holland in a movie called The Impossible.
I remember this fucking thing.
Terrifies me.
Isn't Ewan McGregor in that?
Yeah, he plays the husband. And Tim, are you familiar with the plot of this movie?
Mm-mm.
They're on an island like getaway vacation, and the island gets hit with the tsunami, and it's terrifying.
Wait a minute!
This is a giant wave that hits them, and they get separated, and like people get killed with like all this shit and debris and stuff everywhere, and then they just have to find each other again.
I've never seen this movie, but I remember a Michael Bay movie called The Island that I'm pretty sure stalled Ewan McGregor.
Also, Ewan McGregor. That was about clones.
Different.
Yeah,
that was
that one was about cloning yourself so that you can harvest your own organs should you need to.
Real quick, while we're here, I forget if we
Ewan McGregor in a movie about clones. No.
I was gonna. I want you to know that I feel like we're covering it for the record, but Grant Burton wrote into patreon.com/kindoffunny and said, "What have you guys been watching on TV recently?" We're talking about a lot of movies as well, but I'm counting it since we're watching them on TV. And I want to give a shout out to Ewan McGregor in Halston, the Netflix show.
So good, right?
Dude, he is fucking insane. Like don't get me wrong, I know Ewan McGregor's a good actor. I'm not they just followed the turnip truck yesterday. I didn't show up from Kansas. Like, what's this magic box with talking people on it? I understand. I've seen Ewan McGregor do amazing things, but he is fucking on another level on this show. Thank you, Ewan McGregor, for sharing your talents.
Sorry, I want that townhouse that he's in Halston. That thing is dope.
I want to hang out with Liza Minnelli when she was like 25, 30 or whatever she is in that.
Yeah, when she was
Liza Minnelli parties. You know what I mean? And that's the thing is I only know I know Liza Minnelli from Arrested Development. You know what I mean? She's dope there too. If you, Liza Minnelli, or if you know Liza, tell her right now I'd love to hang out with her and party right now. But I'm just saying, I was like, oh man, look, she was doing cool shit back then too.
I think the chances of Liza Minnelli coming to hang out with us in San Francisco are very slim, but I want to give a shout out. And I don't know the actress.
Here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna tweet right now how many degrees we want to know how many degrees separated from Liza Minnelli we are.
Yeah.
All right. And we'll just go from there. All right.
I want to give a shout out to the actress that plays her though. And I forget her name, but she did a really, really great job in body. Because like that's the thing when you start casting people who are obviously well known, like you can't cast someone that when they look too much like them, you run the risk of them being an impersonator. And so I think they did a really great job, and she did a great job of them like embodying what Liza was, but like kind of making it her own. Similar to like how they did with the National Lampoon's movie that they made, where they cast Joel McHale as Chevy Chase, and I'm like, he looks nothing like Chevy Chase, but he has mannerisms and just the sort of like soul of the character he found really well.
I didn't know there was a Liza Minnelli. I didn't know there was a Joel McHale, Chevy Chase movie you're talking about.
Oh yeah, it's Will Forte plays the guy that one of the guys is Will Forte and Domhnall Gleeson. I'm gonna tell you that guy's name. Play the two founders of National Lampoons, and it came out right around the time that the documentary came out. So you probably saw the documentary, but if you haven't seen the actual narrative version of the film, it's great, and it's got an all-star cast of people they just cast like to be all of those people, all the Saturday Night Live characters, Gilda, Belushi, all those people. It's really fucking cool.
Also, the tweet is out, everybody. We want to know how many degrees of separation are between us and Liza Minnelli. Go. I didn't tag her. I'm not trying to cheat it here. You know what I mean? But here, if you are related to somebody who knows Liza Minnelli, this is the time to speak now. We're not going to hit you up. We don't need her on the show right now. Just let her know that we like to party with her.
Jonathan Stab in the chat says Henry Winkler was in Arrested Development with Liza Minnelli.
Yeah, did that seem like that panned out for us? Does that seem like it panned out? Do you think we can hit up Henry Winkler right now in the blood feud he's in with Nick? You think I can hit him up and ask for an introduction to Liza Minnelli? That's not how it would happen.
I'd rather you not, but if you do, we got to jump you out of the gang. So if you're going to interact with Henry Winkler,
out of the gang,
we got to jump you out of the gang. Nice. Greg, the movie's called A Futile and Stupid Gesture, and it's a Netflix movie. So if you want to watch it, I highly recommend it. It's very, very good.
Okay, I'm sorry, Tim. This is your podcast. Back to your Reddit.
Thank you. I appreciate that, Kev. Can you please bring this up? Here we have Anthony Mackie in 8 Mile. in 2002. Another movie that I've never seen.
I don't. What? What?
Yeah.
You've never seen 8 Mile.
We've talked about this recently. I've never seen 8 Mile.
That's like Greg not watching a Superman movie.
I was gonna say, like, yeah, well, yeah. Let's do life, that man. Tonight. What are you gonna watch tonight? Fuck The Bachelor season 45. Watch 8 Mile.
Yeah.
Hey guys, who gets the rose tonight? You better fucking lose yourself. That's who gets the rose. Tim.
Exactly. Mikhail Pfeiffer is in that movie.
My mom and brother went to see it opening night, and I don't know what I was doing, but I couldn't go for whatever reason, and then I just never saw it. They bought it on DVD. I want you to know they watched it together all the time.
Kevin, I want you to know this reflects on you too. The fact that you didn't somehow make this happen when you knew Tim. Either. Yeah, but that's expected for you. I'm sure, it wasn't on the dollar menu, whatever bullshit. But it seems like something you should have been on
the dollar menu.
You would have been on fucking Tim's case about. You know what I mean? This seems like something, how much Tim loves M&M. It seems like something you would have lauded over him until he actually went and did it.
I like the peanut M&Ms.
Yeah. Oh fuck yeah! I love peanut M&Ms. They go with this little carton of milk that you get.
Let me guess. When you get your peanut M&Ms, you get them out of that little crank thing in the supermarket, right? Where it's just loose M&Ms in a disgusting machine.
They come out like dusty, and you're like, why are these dusty?
They're all chipped.
They're sealed, right? There's no dust in there.
You ever look at the bottom of those little bulk bins, and you're like,
sealed. Nothing is sealed in there.
No one's cleaned this thing out ever.
Yeah,
it's just peanut M&M flakes.
Really judgy. Let's go back to this
3 decades.
Back to the list.
Here we have it, everyone. Scarlett Johansson in 1994 in a movie called North.
Is that the Elijah Wood one?
Elijah Wood, yeah.
Yeah, he's
ridiculous. She's so small.
Can't even recognize
her. Next up,
they start that way.
Chris Evans.
Yeah.
Biodiversity, Wild About Life in 1997.
What a dork. Look at that.
What a fucking loser. You know what I mean?
Steal that hat from my dad.
It's one of those things where, like, Chris Evans, in this image you're showing of him being very young here, obviously audio listeners, we're sorry. The first thing I think of is, did you ever see this? It was a tweet that I saw on Reddit, and I saw it years ago now at this point, but some point where I'm messing up the story, I'm sure, but it was a woman who was like in her dentist's chair. He's like, what are you getting into this weekend? She's like, oh, I'm going to go see one of the whatever Avengers film was out that weekend. And he's like, oh, that's funny. My son's in that. And like it all clicked in her head that it was Dr. Evans. And like she looked at his desk and he had a photo of him and his son, Chris Evans, and all this shit.
That's awesome.
That's great. Kev, could you bring up whatever you just brought up again?
Sure.
Because I have some questions here. So hold on.
North. I remember this one.
Did not. I looked up North and this is the image that came up and I was like, whoa. Did not expect Bruce Willis in the Easter Bunny outfit.
I'll tell you what, it's a movie I never watched because it looked really stupid, and this is all checking out.
You're regretting it, aren't you? Because you should watch this.
No. I'm saying this
John Ritter. Is John Ritter in this movie?
The late great John Ritter.
I can never tell with compression who these people are, but that looks like George Costanza. Yeah, I don't think it is.
Yeah, Jason Alexander. You nailed it.
Is that John Lovitz?
That's John Lovitz.
So the question I have though, Kev, is earlier we were talking about Ewan McGregor and he's involved in multiple islands, multiple clone movies. Correct me if I'm wrong, but Elijah Wood grows up to then be in some show of him in an Easter bunny costume.
Yes.
No, you're thinking of Wilford, where he's with the dog.
Yeah, the guy's in the dog costume. That's what you're thinking.
Similar costume. Close, but okay. Ewan McGregor, Elijah Wood. Different tiers.
Different people. Elijah Wood's had such an interesting career because he hit Lord of the Rings and was like, I'm done. I don't have to ever do anything. Nothing will ever be cooler than this. I can do whatever the fuck I want. So now he's doing like weird indie, like Wilford projects like that. But yeah. What's Titchy?
Sebastian Stan is the next one. 71 fragments of a chronology of chance. I don't think that one got many views, but
no.
Here he is. Also, not a great picture.
Not a great picture at all. Shout out while we're here to Monday. Did you watch Monday with Sebastian Stan? It's another pandemic movie. In the last 2 months that came out of him and having like a one night stand with a girl, and then it maybe turns into more. I won't ruin the movie for you, but I enjoyed myself. And there's a lot of Sebastian Stan naked and a lot of this woman naked in it too. It's a very sexual affair they have.
Frontal, we see everything.
They do they do the sex? They do the sex.
They do the sex quite a bit. Yeah, I don't remember seeing his dick, but I remember seeing his butt.
No balls either, huh?
What about his Never
Which part of the
mind.
body? Where do you want to go,
love
Nick?
He's gonna say
Where do you wanna
butthole.
go?
He's gonna bring up his
He got mad at me
butthole.
because I brought up a new term on the Braven review, and it was the first time and only time Tim's actually just looked at me like, please
Ass
stop
bush.
saying that word.
Ass bush.
Yeah.
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 I
That's
know
what
it
was said.
I know it well.
And
Mary's got a lot of
yeah.
ass bush.
And Michael in the chat, back balls.
Are those just the balls from
Yeah,
behind?
balls from behind,
Yeah,
Balls
no,
from
that's
that.
perfect. That's
Yeah,
great.
back
I
balls
like
and
that
ass
one a
push.
lot. I remember once watching a shit. Fuck. Right there. Nick, I need your help.
one?
It's the old. It was Whoopi Goldberg. It was Billy Crystal. It was Robin Williams. It was a thing. It was stand-up comedy for homelessness. They did it all the time. It got bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger.
Oh fuck. Shit.
I really thought you had me on this one.
No,
I didn't
I'm
think you'd be
sorry.
the
I'm
name
not
like
blanking on
this.
the name. I know what you're talking about, but I'm blanking on the name. I keep thinking of them hosting the Oscars. That's all I can think of them now.
Comic
Just-
Relief. That's
that's
what I
good.
was looking
Yeah.
for. And I remember long before I had any idea who they were, Bob Odenkirk and David Cross did a bit on Comic Relief. And I forget what the actual like setup to the joke was or whatever, because it was like pretty normal stand-up that was going. I remember watching because I used to watch a lot of stand-up as a kid, and I would have been a teenager somewhere in here. But Mr. Show must have been happening, but I don't think we had HBO, so I don't think I was watching Mr. Show. Anyways, the joke escalated to where it was like, oh, David's got to go backstage and get naked, and then he did, and he came back out holding his balls and his dick in his hand, and you couldn't see anything as a camera. And then when their bit ended and they left the stage, I think it was Chris Rock came out and was just like, just so you know, you can see his balls from backstage.
Yeah.
Because he was
great.
back balls.
That's what they did back in the day.
Everybody
Greg.
protects the front balls. They don't think about the ass bush and they don't think about the back balls.
Yeah, you gotta watch out.
Action's most sensitive, man.
It's true.
They'll get you. The Gators.
Because the front balls you're used to getting kicked by all the people, but in the back, no one kicks you
All
from the
the
back balls.
I used to kick Nick.
Throughout the years, you get kicked a lot in the front balls.
Yeah, that's why you develop the callus in the front balls. But the back balls,
And I don't know if
back
call
balls
them
right
ball
now
knee
are
pads.
as smooth and soft as they were the day you were born.
No, man, even softer because they've been wearing out against your ass bush.
All right, let's keep going on the list. Next is Elizabeth Olsen.
They've been buffed to a fine shine by the ass bush.
Shiny, man. Gotta get that Brillo pad out of there. What did The Rock call it? Chewbacca's?
Oh my god, I don't even know. When would he have said that?
The Rock referred to under armpit hair as Chewbacca's one time when I think Greg tweeted a picture at him. The Rock said, "That looks great,
Oh,
Greg,
yeah,
but you
no,
got to
that's
get rid of those Chewbacca's."
I want to let you know, Greg, I love our lives so much that I
Yeah.
did not expect Nick to reference when I was like, oh, I don't remember The Rock saying that. It's because he said it to you. I thought he said it in some movie.
No. That was
No.
that was when Greg and he were going back and forth a little bit on Twitter. That was fun.
I love
That was
it.
a good
I
time.
love it.
That was
So
very well
here we
done.
have Elizabeth Olsen in How the West Was Fun, which, good Lord, it's just so funny seeing her little and seeing her sister's little and all of it. With this came up last year at some point, or maybe it was even this year with WandaVision. But did we watch the diss track with you guys
The diss
that her
track.
older sisters did about her?
No.
No.
I would love to watch
all
that.
right. I need to send you guys this because we're gonna check it out. Here we go. I'm loving the Tim Gettys episode of this kind of funny podcast.
Oh,
So,
perfect.
do you guys?
Sounds like copy
You're
strike
probably out of the. No, we're okay. This is up on YouTube. So you guys are a different age group than me. So in
Mhm.
some ways, I grew up with these Mary Kate and Ashley home
Mary Kate
videos.
and
I doubt
Ashley.
you guys did, but did you at all?
I
No.
knew of them. I didn't watch them.
No, I didn't
Are
do
you
any of
familiar
those.
though, Nick?
With the Mary Kate and Ashley Olsen? Like, yeah, I mean, I followed their career extensively. I just never really consumed any of the content.
Okay,
past
cool. So
Full House.
they put out a shit ton of like almost multiple annualized series of Mary Kate and Ashley. It's kind of like the
yeah,
Ernest
it's
movies,
like
but
Hardy
Mary
Boys,
Kate and
but
Ashley.
they
Yeah,
were like
exactly.
straight to video, right? They were or like Hallmark
Straight to
Channel, straight to
video.
video bullshit. Yeah.
Exactly, but like
Mary Kate and
our
Ashley solve a
generation,
murder mystery. It's like fucking who's the serial killer out there at Silence of the Lambs? Yeah, perfect.
totally. So this one's called The Adventures of Mary Kate and Ashley: The Case of the Thorn Mansion. So they're trying to figure it out. The little sister, Lizzie, wants to go with them, and they have some choice fucking words for this girl in the most ruthless thing I've ever seen young children do to their
Let's
little
see it.
sister that
Let's see it.
adults perpetuated and put on VHS cassette.
Yeah,
Let's check it out.
it was a tougher time.
Want to come too? We know you do. And maybe someday you will. He wants to come now. No way, no how. Sorry, Negativeville. Why not? Why not? Let's see, why not? Lizzie, baby, we'd rather you weren't along today. But shouldn't we tell her why? We just rather you weren't, okay? Now back off and say goodbye. We'd rather be picked up by a twister, or tagged along after by a sister. We'd rather eat French fried garden snails. We'd rather lose all our fingernails, or bathe in a pool of slime. Hasta la vista, baby sister. Maybe some other time. BUTT out. BUTT out. Turn your tiny frame about and
Probably enough.
Butt out.
Turn your
That
tiny frame
hurts.
around and
Butt out.
BUTT out, Lizzie Olsen. What the hell? Who
Damn.
did this?
This is not acceptable. What's funny is like she always like Elizabeth Olsen always just looked older than the other two. She always looked like she's the older sibling than the other two. To me.
I don't know that I saw that.
Really?
I don't think so.
I would just think of Mary Kate and Ashley Olsen, even to this day, as being like 16 years old. And
Here's the thing we're gonna say, all right, and we're in the Tree of Trust. This is the Kind of Funny podcast, aka the Tim Gettys podcast for this one time, right?
Yeah.
But Tree of Trust, and no chat, be cool. Listen to everything I say before you go off and clip it out and get me in trouble with anybody. All right. Mary Kate and Ashley Olsen as children kind of look like trolls. I mean, the troll dolls, right? And so they have that cherub look to them that doesn't age.
they're very young looking, always.
I will agree with you, Nick. In that clip we even just saw, right? Elizabeth Olsen, while younger and smaller, of course, looks like she has a more adult face. Whereas the Olsen twins themselves still have that I'm on Full
Perpetual
House,
babies.
you got it, dude, whatever.
I mean,
you know what I mean?
They got turned into vampires at a very young age, and they never aged. That's what I always
Well,
thought.
no, they did. I mean, now they also look like adults. You know what I mean? Now that
They
they are
still look so
adults,
young.
they run a fashion empire, whatever the hell they do. I don't know. I know they don't
Or
act
whatever
anymore.
the hell they do.
I know.
I love that you said that they
It's a
run a
fashion
fashion
empire.
empire. I was like, there's no way Greg knows that because I don't
Well, they
know
do.
that.
One
They
of
do.
them does. One of
No,
them
they
does
both- they
that,
both
right?
do.
They
They
don't
both-
act anymore.
I think they have it's either Oliver Peoples or Alice and Olivia. They have a lot of brands, and they used to have magazines and shit too. They're like billionaires.
Oh,
They
yeah.
got commoditized back at a young age, but they still, I think they're pretty heavily in fashion.
And so that's what I'm saying is like, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying the Olsen twins, and nor am I trying, nor am I saying they look like trolls, like Troll 2 trolls or anything. Like that. I'm saying they look they always reminded me of the troll doll, which I think
Trolls
puts
World
them.
Tour.
Yeah, sure. I didn't watch that one, but sure. Yeah, same idea. Yeah. Is that the troll doll? Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, the little like
Oh,
naked
uh-huh.
thing like this with the fucking hair. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
they always had that troll doll vibe to them. And so that puts them in a certain thing where I think they were always seemed like small children. And then all of a sudden they could drink.
Is
You know
it
what I
just
mean?
the hair?
No, well, I mean, that definitely played into it. That
Well,
definitely
they're also
played
like
into
tiny
it.
humans, right? I don't think they're very tall either. So when you look over and you just see like a 3'5"
I mean, how
twins running
old-
at you, you think those are children. Those are children running
Full
at me.
House ends,
Trolls.
when Full House ends, how old was Michelle in that? She wasn't like fucking doing cocaine and flying planes, right? She was still like 10. She was still small.
Are you talking about the? Good
Final
question.
season.
These are a
of
lot of good
Full
questions.
House.
Don't let me forget to ask you guys if you've watched the Friends reunion yet, because me and
Oh,
we
that
were talking
I have
about
lots
that.
to say about that, and that plays into the TV question.
We should absolutely
The
talk about
8th and
that.
final season of Full House was 95. So like when here, this is the cover of it. I can just look at that, I guess. Hold on. Yeah,
Like,
see,
look at this
the Olsen
picture.
twins are still small as shit on this. So like, of course, like
Look
it feels
here.
like they're always young.
Look at the Google all three of them right now and tell me that Elizabeth Olsen isn't their adult, and these are her two children.
Send it to Kevin so we can see. Sorry. Olsen
Hold on,
family.
look at
What do
this.
you got here?
Okay, look at this.
Damn, no, you're right. I don't know if it's the one you're going to bring up, but I'm looking at a maryclaire.com photo. And yeah, no, she definitely seems to be the adult of the
Olsen
group.
family.
Hold
You know
on,
what I
I gotta figure. I'm still navigating this PC. There you go.
Still
Is it that much different?
I just my hotkeys,
Oh.
man. My hotkeys.
Now, okay, to be clear, I agree with you, Nick, in their adult ages. She looks older than
Yeah.
them. I thought you were talking about like with what we just watched and like
No,
them
I
from
meant
that era.
so I was talking about what we just watched, but I think I'm bringing in my adult perception into what we just watched. So you're
Got
right.
it,
Sure,
got
we
it.
knew where they were
Watched, guys,
going.
they
Because
all
I grew
look
up
roughly
watching
the same.
that shit. So she was always the little sister. Like
Oh.
that was clear. Whereas
Yeah,
like, yeah,
to
now
me-
it's like she's taller and height goes a long
I
way.
think that's all that matters. Some would say height's all that matters
Mhm.
in life.
So the Tolly agenda would say that, but
It's a
Yeah,
it's a
yeah,
bullshit Tory
yeah.
agenda.
Totally agenda.
Fucking Tallies. Man, what a talented family. There's a lot of Olsons, by the way. I just Googled Olsen
There's
twins.
a lot of Olsons.
500. How
Is
many
there more
Olsons do we think
Olsons
there
or
are?
Wahlbergs?
I don't know. That's a great question, Tim. I was just going to ask you that. So I'm going to Google this real quick. How many Olsons are
Andy,
there?
start prepping next week's thumbnail. We're sorry about the last week's episode. We're sorry about the Wahlberg.
How
We're sorry
many
about the
Olsons
Olsons.
are there? So right now, how many Olsen twins are there? Well, I don't. How many fucking Olsen twins? The answer's in the question, idiot. Who would ask that question? How many Olsen siblings are there? Let's see. Are the parents? James.
While
Mary
Nick
Kate,
Googles
Ashley,
how many
24.
Olsen twins there are, ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you about patreon.com/kindafunny. Of course, over on patreon.com/kindafunny, you can ask us questions just like Grant Burton did, and I have another one stemmed to come up. There's another one coming up after that too. Of course, you could be watching live, just like everyone who agreed with me about the Olsen twins, such as Jeff L., who said agreed. You know what I mean? And then Keegan Hill says, clip it. Don't clip that. I told you not to do that. That's the opposite of what I'm trying to say. You know what I mean? And then Torbanox says, very toilet toad like, and I'm not going to touch that one. If you, ladies and gentlemen, want to be a part of the show and all that stuff I just said, patreon.com/kindafunny, where you can get the post show too. But more importantly, that's where you can get the show ad-free. And speaking of ads, Greg Way, let's hear about our sponsors. This podcast is brought to you by Babbel. For most of us, learning a second language in high school or college wasn't exactly a high point in our academic careers. I thought I could take French 3, and my teacher was like, you're really not committed enough to French to take French 3. You shouldn't try. And I was like, I got this. And I took French 3 and I dropped it within a week. And it was because I was getting my butt kicked and I wasn't understanding it. But now, thanks to Babbel, the #1 selling language learning app, there's an addictively fun and easy way to learn a new language. Whether you'll be traveling abroad, connecting in a deeper way with family, hey, ding, 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 that's me, or you just have some free time, Babbel teaches bite-sized language lessons that you'll actually use in the real world. Babbel's 15-minute lessons make it a perfect way to learn a new language on the go. I have the app. I have started using it. I'm trying to get better to talk to my French-Canadian wife, whose first language is French and didn't learn English till way later in her life. And I'm trying to be a better husband so I can talk to my in-laws, and Babbel's helping. Babbel designs their courses with practical, real-world conversations in mind. Things you'll get to use in everyday life. Other language learning apps use AI for their lesson plans, but Babbel lessons were created by over 100 language experts. Their teaching method has been scientifically proven to be effective. With Babbel, you can choose from 14 different languages, including Spanish, French, Italian, and German. Plus, Babbel's speech recognition technology helps you improve your pronunciation and accent. I could probably use it for English as well. Start your new language learning journey today with Babbel. Right now, when you purchase a 3-month Babbel subscription, you'll get an additional 3 months for free. That's 6 months for the price of 3. Just go to Babbel.com and use the promo code MORNING. That's BABBEL.com. Code MORNING for an extra 3 months free. Babbel, language for life.
Greg, I've been hearing recently, and by hearing I mean been tweeted at a lot recently, not with toilet toads, but with toilet Tims.
That's a great thing. That's got to be a great thing.
I don't remember that.
It must have been an offshoot because, again, as Kevin would always say, that's how our humor works. We find one thing that makes us laugh. Guess what, guys? Next week, we're graduating from Ass Bush. We're going to talk about Navel Bush or something.
Yeah,
and it's just going to be the same fucking thing.
Belly button bush. That's bad. When it gets
the belly bush,
high,
exactly.
We got to get the nair naturally, guys.
Here's what I'll say though, Tim, you're absolutely right, but it's a very special thing when it comes from Greg, because you can tell when it's mine. I can tell when it's yours, Tim, because obviously we know how to go to each other. Greg comes from a different angle on a lot of this stuff, and don't forget satanic. But like, I'm gonna say it's not satanic.
It's
not of. Let's put it this way, Tim. If there's 3 planes of existence, right? There's the upper plane. There's the plane we're on right now. Greg's comes from the lower plane for sure. His comes from the lower plane. Like when he was like, I just log on one day and everyone's like, ask Nick if he's the clown prince of kind of funny. And I'm like, that's got to be a Greg thing, right? And people are spamming
it's clearly, it's just a fucking, come on now, man. It's just it's a Batman reference. You know what I mean? Come on.
I totally understand that. But the way they say it and the way it's phrased and the way they come at you with such aggression is always just, I'm like, I can feel Greg behind this, right? There's a disturbance in the force. And I look back and you just go, hey, yes.
When Greg reaches for something, he always says he goes to the dark void.
No, I mean, Kevin, we can all agree Greg is driven mostly by Lucifer.
First off, I go to the void is what I say. And when I need extra help, I go to the dark one. All right. So let's not confuse. Let's not confuse. Here's the thing. The void, guess what? Over here, right here, there's the void, right? Where I reach into with whatever reference I want to make. You know what's happening in the void? You know what's on the other side of the void? We don't fucking know. It's like a Goosebumps novel. Maybe it's a blessing, maybe it's a curse. You don't know. You're reaching in doing it. You've seen it happen. I reach in, I pull it, I throw it, I go, wait, I shouldn't say that. I'm sorry. And I try to bring it back. That's what, when you bargain with the void, that's what happens. Now, when I need to work at Nidhogg, you know what I mean? Dark One. That's what you're going to be doing. But again, let's not put labels on it. The Dark One doesn't need to be a bad guy. Batman's, he's a Dark One. Yeah, anybody else?
Were there more of the kid?
We're on slide 7 of 20 for the MCU.
Oh, yeah. Okay, gotcha. Yeah, let's go back to that. Kev, please bring it up.
5, by the way.
Next up, we have Paul Bettany in Wycliffe.
What the hell's that?
Never seen it. Thought Paul Bettany was in Big Lebowski as one of the German guys. He's not. There's just another tall, lanky guy.
But he was in Wimbledon. Great fucking movie with the Dunst. Come play Smash Brothers with us. Smash the Dunst.
Then we got next up Don Cheadle in
Love
Fame.
Don Cheadle.
And it's that's Don fucking Cheadle. You know what I mean?
I just watched Endgame and then Infinity War. Don't ask me why. I watched it.
I love you. I love you, Nick.
Don't ask me why. You know, because it was like, I just want to watch something I know is going to be great. I'm tired of starting things in 5 minutes and being like, this is not for me. So I threw on Endgame. And of course, first scene, I start crying. Second scene, I start crying. I'm sobbing through this thing so much that I actually have to close my door so Dee doesn't see me crying, even though she could tell by the amount of crying that she's like, you're watching Endgame again. Then I finish it and I'm like, this movie's so freaking good that I need more of it. So I fire up Infinity War. Watch all that again.
Wow. Okay. In reverse. Got it.
I think you might be the only human being in history to watch Endgame and then Infinity War. It's not that I love it.
It's not that I did it on purpose. It was that I just intended to watch Endgame, and I was like, I should have watched Infinity War first, so I just watched it. Why not?
MCU returns next week, 7 days from today. As
Loki,
of recording, we're getting Loki, baby, and then a little over a month away, the return of MCU movies. Can't believe it.
So good.
Can't believe it. Let's continue, Kev. This one's hilarious. Robert Downey Jr.
Oh my God.
1970 in a movie called Pound.
How old is he here?
He's probably like 4.
Yeah,
5, something like
4
that.
or 5. Yeah.
Tiny.
Crazy.
And he's had a crazy long career.
Robert Downey Jr. born 1965. So 5 years old. Wow.
Next up, Chris Hemsworth in a movie called Neighbors with a U in 2002.
Oh, it's some Australian thing. You know what I mean?
Can we take a minute and just have Kevin pull up that photo?
Oh yeah,
of Thor: Love and Thunder real quick, just so we
sure on Flex Day or whatever, right?
Yeah, because it like legitimately breaks my brain. Kev, if you go to Instagram and just type in like Thor, or type in Instagram Thor: Love and Thunder,
I'm
Chris Hemsworth arms, it's unbelievable that he got that big for this movie, and I love it. I love that everyone else is like, there it is right there. Holy shit!
But it's not in black and white, right? It's like a
it's in black and white.
Oh God!
I don't know why. That's unreal. That's a ridiculous amount of muscle to put on. He's never been that big. Could do without the hair extensions, though.
How do you think they're going to explain away him being fat? Is it just going to be times past? Do you think it's going to be like a whole thing?
Past and he just got jacked again.
I mean, he's a god. I'm not saying he can't drop, the gut in like 2 seconds. But
it starts with like another like this.
Oh, do you think it starts with a fucking 80s montage? Like, I need to get my life sorted out. Ding, 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 ding.
I hope it does.
That'd be awesome.
Because Ragnarok started with him like talking to that like dead corpse that was next to him, right?
Hanging upside down or whatever.
Yeah, I could see it starting in the same way.
I don't even know what Thor: Love and Thunder is about, but
no one does.
It's gonna be great.
It's Natalie Portman, right?
No,
she takes over the moniker, or no?
Yeah,
do we know. Yeah,
that's what they said was gonna happen. Jane Foster was gonna pick up the hammer.
Good for her. Good
for her indeed. Who's next?
Next up is Mark Ruffalo looking like Nick.
Oh my God.
The guy from Hereditary.
It's Daniel LaRusso. Tell me that doesn't look like Daniel motherfucking the Karate Kid LaRusso.
No, Tim, do you want to know where I went with that? Over the weekend, again, this is what I do in my spare time. fired up Pitch Perfect. Why, Tim? Because it's
Love
one
you.
of the best fucking movies ever made. That's why.
Started
Tim.
with 2, then went to 1. Then
No.
watched
I
3.
just straight up. I don't love the other Pitch Perfect movies. I think 3 is redeemable, but 2 I remember being very boring. Long story short, the whole movie I'm watching this, I'm like, why did they cast this guy as the love interest and then this other actor that looks exactly like him as the dorky magician kid?
Mhm.
This guy looks like Mark Ruffalo in this picture looks like a combination of both of those people.
Interesting. Dorky Magician Kid having quite the moment right now.
Dorky Magician Kid, great voice, and don't fucking think that I didn't blare that on the way to my boat show, that last montage. And I'll say this right now, Tim, I'm gonna throw this out there. Troublemakers had the better set. They should have won that competition. They did.
Yeah, that is true.
Magic in me, Greg. Oh, come on.
So good.
So good.
Next up, we got
Benedict
Cumberbatch. Silent
Batch.
Witness.
Same hair as always. Weird.
Same everything.
Yeah, he looks pretty similar.
Then Zoe Saldana in Law and Order.
Law and Order, 1999. Okay.
Dude, if you go through the list of people that were in Law and Order through the years, it's literally everyone. Everyone has guested on that show.
30 years, right?
Yeah, it's been in 3 series. So, but even just the main one, like you'll be watching shit, you'll be like, is that fucking like Anne Hathaway? Like, what's going on with all this stuff?
Then we got Chris Pratt in The Huntress. And it's like this motherfucker. I love it. I love that he is as big as he is now.
I know.
Good for him.
I remember first seeing him in Wanted and being like, this guy is a great asshole.
Wanted.
Not a good movie.
Dead or alive.
Great comic book.
Wait, when Wanted, are you talking about the one where they curve bullets?
Yeah.
Who is he in that?
He plays the asshole that's banging James McAvoy's girlfriend.
Oh, his like best friend, right?
Remember, he's like, dude, we're best friends. And then he comes in and then eventually when he gets his powers, like,
yeah.
Yeah,
There he is.
face,
I forgot all about that.
There he is.
Wanted, man, that was a fun movie.
It was fun, but I was like, did you read the comic book?
Way better.
Yeah. Played the game too, brother. Played the game too.
Oh,
was it good?
I didn't know there was a game. Of course
It was based. It came out right around the movie, and it was based on the comics, so it was confusing, but it was fun.
Got it.
The next up, we have Tom Hiddleston in the most Tom Hiddleston looking ass outfit I've ever seen.
Hiddleston.
The Life and Adventures of Nicholas Nickleby.
There it is.
There it is.
And next to what's his
Oh
butt
my
from,
God,
The
this
Wire.
next one is insane, guys. Jeremy Renner.
National
Hawkeye.
Lampoon's Senior Trip. 1995.
This is the most unrecognizable one of all of them.
That's
It's not
wild.
a great screenshot of him. I don't know. Kevin, can we watch the trailer or will that get us in trouble?
I mean, we've watched every other trailer, so why not?
It's
why
a
not, Craig?
All right, then
Why not?
Kevin's
go ahead
good.
and do it because I think in like right here, the freeze frame they have on IMDb for the trailer, that you look at that, you go, "Oh, that's Jeremy Renner."
Okay.
But the image here, this is like I think they caught him, mid move.
mid move. Some
That's
type
always
of
gonna be
eye
true.
situation.
I do want to say, I'd love to watch. I don't remember this one at all, and I'm sure it's awful. To embarrass his rival, a scheming senator uses nitwit Ohio teens who are invited to Washington gathering on educational failure. That's the description on IMDb. I don't think anyone's proofread this or updated it recently.
I don't think anyone cares.
Jeremy Renner does. So now what are you gonna say?
Good point.
God,
People think
That's
that
me.
we're nothing
Still
but a
Googling.
generation of
Olsen,
losers. Sitting on our butts, playing video games, and watching MTV. That's not true!
National Lampoon's Senior Trip.
Let's party!
The seniors of Fairmount High are on their way to Washington.
Come on, hop in.
Let's do some van damage.
See, he looks normal there. Yeah. Oh my god, I actually remember that. Let's do some dance.
I'm here to save you.
Oh my god, I've seen this movie.
Have you really?
Yeah, because that guy
I must have seen
has a
it.
very not
Greg Miller
not
and Paul
2021
Walker.
storyline.
Friday night.
Yeah,
Still
this is
really
definitely
hard.
one
I
we
feel
all
like that's-
rented. We all rented, and like
That's-
you watch over and over again. Like, I'm sure we did see some titties, but I'm sure that's what we were doing in junior high.
I would never
I-
know this is Hawkeye.
Yeah, I wouldn't have guessed this is him either.
Okay. Well
That's
then,
crazy.
there you go. My apologies, everybody.
Thank you for apologizing. That's very adult.
I thought it was just a bad screen grab. You know what I mean? But it turns out you guys can't picture Jeremy Renner.
And the Olsen twins don't like smiling in their photos. I'm trying to find one picture of these twins smiling.
They're
right
not
now.
happy.
They just don't do it.
It's that thing where, you know, they pivoted really hard, Nick, where they grew up again in the Full House phase, having to smile all the time. And then once they became adults, once they became women, they were like, we're over that. And like this will define the next phase of our life.
Yeah, they don't smile ever. They just look like they're always looking kind of scared.
That's
Yeah,
the
they
style,
don't want
man.
to be where
A
they're
lot
at.
going on with them.
I think it might be the cocaine.
Oh, that's
Next
probably
up,
it.
we
That's
got
probably what it is.
Paul Rudd.
I mean, why even look? It's Paul Rudd. It
It's
looks
Paul
like Paul
Rudd.
Rudd.
God,
Straight
he
the
looks
fuck up.
exactly the same.
Is that Paul Rudd from now or Paul Rudd from 40 years ago?
bless
Doesn't
him,
matter.
man.
It's Paul Rudd.
What an angel.
That's why,
Let him-
Greg,
he's
what,
an
what
angel.
an
Makes
what an unbelievable snuff at the Friends reunion. You know?
Snub.
What did I say? Oh, snuff is
You
when they
said
kill people
snuff,
in
like a
porn.
snuff film where.
Snub.
Yeah.
Yeah,
What,
okay,
a,
yeah.
what a terrible. There were two big snubs we'll get into.
Sure.
But
Okay. Yeah. This
don't
if we're
forget.
we'll see. It's Tim's show. If we don't make it to the Friends reunion on air, we'll get there in the post show. But I agree.
We got
Alright, sorry,
two
but-
left. Here we got Brie Larson on the left.
Oh.
Little itty bitty thing on
Yeah.
the Tonight Show with Jay Leno. And then
Wait,
finally,
Goonies was Josh Brolin's first film?
first credited role.
Wow.
Kills it in it too.
He's great, Nick.
Yeah.
He plays the older brother. That's an asshole. He's
Yeah.
perfect.
He has to ride the bike. Remember to go get him when they all go.
And then he
They all
flies
run
off
away.
the thing. And he's in this costume.
Dude, the
entire
guy
time.
almost
Sucks.
kills him. Remember? They
Yeah, that
grab
guy
him
almost
on-
murdered. That guy should go to jail for fucking murder, attempted murder.
You saw him and his wife dressed like that for Halloween or something, right?
Yeah.
Great stuff.
I had to stop following them on Instagram though, because they get really naked a lot, and I open Instagram a lot,
Nice.
and they're always posting naked pictures of themselves. Like
They
artistic
are. That's accurate.
nudes.
That is accurate.
I was like,
Good
I
for
gotta
them.
stop following this. This is a lot
Sorry,
and
who?
I don't have any aversion to it. Josh Brolin and his wife. They're always in the desert, just naked.
This is not a Nick thing. He's not lying. This actually happened. This actually happens. Josh Brolin and his wife love being naked, and God bless them. You know what I mean? I'm not here
So-
to rain on your parade. You
You
want to be
shouldn't.
naked? You're both gorgeous
Can you
people. Even
imagine
if you're not
it
gorgeous
being-
people.
Tell you what, if you
Josh
like your
Brolin.
body and you want to show it off, go to the nearest Walmart. There it is.
Nick always finds a way. We're always skirting the line, and it's just always Nick being like, "I'm jumping in, guys."
Look
Yeah,
at
like
how it's-
literally, I open as of recording this. I open up Josh Brolin's Instagram for the first time in forever,
naked.
right? And the second thing is here him. He's dropped his pants and he's on his daughter's like first time potty thing. You know what I mean? Trying to show it's
Oh, I
cool.
see. Yeah, that's what I'm saying, man. Again,
Uh,
I think it's hilarious. I just gotta.
I'm slacking
Get up
you,
Instagram
not
feed.
assets. I'm slacking you a picture from his Instagram. I'd like you to bring up of
You
an
want me to bring it
example of
up?
what they're talking about.
Is it
Yeah,
Pro
please
Pro?
show this. Yeah.
Uh,
Yes, this is from Josh Brolin's Instagram. He says, "I don't remember having this photograph taken, but then again, there are a lot of things I don't remember."
Yeah,
I don't.
that's that thick booty.
There's just a
It's
tiny bit
Thanos
of
with a thick booty.
Thanos
That's that
testicle
thick
sticking
Thanos
out there.
booty. No,
Like, I
that's
know it's
just-
Photoshop and it's not real, but
Back balls.
Back balls.
Those are some back balls that we're
We
looking
got
at
some
right
back
there.
balls
and
popping
there's
off
the
over
picture
here.
of him on the potty right underneath.
Yeah, we could look at that too, but
What
No.
it's him having fun with his body, Kevin. You know, not
Well, yeah.
everybody is as
Yeah,
ashamed
Kevin.
as you are.
you don't have to keep it indoors all the time. Let that cat out.
Not everybody has to be in a tank top all the time. You know what I mean?
Let that cat out. You just said.
He's trying to support you. He's trying to show you
I'm just trying
his
to
support.
support you, Kevin. Support you.
God, he just he does do a lot of naked photos.
I
God
told
bless
you he
him.
does.
Here,
God
I'm
bless
gonna-
him.
I'm gonna
If I
pull-
was
I'm gonna
like,
pull
dude-
one- I'm gonna pull one up. Look at this. Ready?
Yeah,
Yeah.
go for it.
That
Yeah,
man
those
looks
are the ones I'm talking
comfortable.
about.
That man's enjoying his life
That man
to
looks
the fullest.
comfortable.
I can't
I'm
wait to
gonna tell you
get to
guys-
that point in my life.
Oh, dude, Kevin, if I got jacked, if I looked like him shirtless, like if I could put that much work into myself and I cared that much and I looked that good, you guys would, it would be only nude photos on Instagram of me. Only.
Thank God you're not.
Only. That would, and Tim would be like,
Thank
I had to
God.
mute Nick again. He's posting pictures of his back bush again.
Oh God, there.
I've got the magic in Tim.
Can I end on one question that plays into the Tim Gettys podcast?
Of course.
This one comes from Angel Darth Youngboy. Writes into patreon.com/kindafunny and says, "Sup, Kinda Funny crew. I was wondering what universe you would want to be part of between the Star Wars universe, and the MCU. I would personally want to be part of the MCU because Wanda's been looking lonely, and I could envision us together. Also, what powers do you want if you had to pick between Star Wars or be a Jedi or Sith? Thanks for reading, Angel Darth Youngboy. Now, here's what I like about this question, and maybe it says something about me, is that when Angel Darth Youngboy presented the question and I read it at first glance, I immediately say MCU, but I also, in both things, think I'm just a person.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think there's any I like to remove this whole thing. I want to be with in this because I can envision me and Wanda together. Sir, you are never meeting Wanda in this universe. You are a normal person who probably works your same job, and giant fucking aliens come and smash up your city all the time. Like, I think that there's a far greater likelihood of us showing up in either universe and just being normal selves.
Yeah. You might meet Hawkeye, but probably not Wanda.
I don't even think we do that. I don't think we meet Hawkeye.
Yeah, I mean, but like, don't you think there's a higher chance that you will be born with like metachlorian count that's a little higher?
Well, I mean, yeah, there's a higher chance because like I have no chance of that happening here. And oh, you mean actually in the conversation? My apologies, telling you.
Yeah. Instead of I don't know, whatever unique ability.
Yeah, whatever,
MCU.
Millions of dollars or serum you're gonna get in the MCU.
Yeah. Here's the thing, though. Like, I feel like we're talking about Greg Miller here. So the way that this works is simple. We're talking about Greg Miller and the MCU, not just Marvel as a whole. So all Greg needs to do is get kind of close to Tony Stark. We're working a little bit weird with time frame, but I guess technically it's 2021. So we have 4 years until he dies, right?
Sure.
In the timeline. So you just need to meet him. He's the source of the majority of motherfuckers getting power somehow, villain or otherwise. We all know Greg is pulling into that void. He's not going to be a good guy.
You already know what's going to happen. You can already say this from a mile away or see it from a mile away, right? If I get dropped in, if I wake up in the MCU, I'm going to want the power so much and want to be close so much. I'm becoming a syndrome type person. I'm the one who's like, oh, well, I know that Oscorp is, however Spider-Man in this universe gets his powers, is got, this stuff. I'll go get there. I get bit. I'm the motherfucker who ends up with like fucking 6 arms. I'm the guy who turns into Man-Bat. You know what I mean? I'm trying to do it. It doesn't go right. I get one movie where I have to beat my ass, throw me in the raft, then maybe I get to come back. It's me, it's Scorpion, it's Batman 89, and we're just fucking shit up. Maybe, but probably not. Or I'm just a guy who gets bit by the radioactive spider and dies of cancer. You know what I mean? Nothing fun.
You're that guy.
That's the thing. I've thought about it, ladies and gentlemen. I want you to know that I say this with as much humility as I can muster. And you know what I mean? The knowing exactly who Greg Miller is. But I always think of like, man, it'd be awesome if for me, DC Comics, right? If I woke up in the DC universe or the universe existed and like Green Lanterns were a thing. And then I stop and think, and I'm like, I would not get a ring. I'm not the person in this sector who has the most willpower. As I sit here just fucking fat, not exercising, eating whatever I want.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like I wake up hungover and I'm like, why do I drink? I should never drink again, right? And then what do? I end up drinking again. Fucking Guardians aren't going to see this shit. Send me the fucking ring. Honestly, the way I act in the void and shit is as pure-hearted as much as I try to be like Superman. I'm probably more likely to get a Sinestro ring. I'm probably somebody's gonna show up and be like, we hear you really want powers, you could have this. You're gonna fucking instill fear in a lot of people. And I'm like, better to have something than nothing. You know what I mean? And then I'm putting skeletons in Nick's closet every night.
I'm like, fuck, why are there orange skeletons in my closet every night? It's starting to anger my wife.
But see, this is my point, Greg, is that Tony Stark is in the MCU kind of the reason that a lot of the villains become villains or at least get superpowers of any sort because they just steal Stark tech. So what's going to happen is you're going to try to get Tony Stark on a podcast in Greg Miller MCU world. It's not going to work out. And then we've proven today how much power you have tweeting. And we want to know how many degrees of separation are between us and Liza Minnelli. Go.
A lot of good answers.
A lot of good answers, but we're not getting connections. You know what I mean? So you're going to try to do that with Tony Stark. You're not going to get there. But guess what, Greg? I bet you can get Sam Rockwell. You know what I mean? Justin Hammer.
Totally. Oh, yeah.
You get in with him. Next thing you know, you get some shitty armor, but at least you got armor. You're causing some damage. You're a bad guy doing bad stuff in the bad streets of the MCU.
I mean, you can look. I just sent it to Kevin here. You want to toss this in there? Like how many degrees of separation we are? One? I just sent the image over. It's Anthony Rapp with Liza Minnelli. All right. Wow. So, I mean, I'm looking to see a kind of funny best friend who, is like, Liza Minnelli's maid or something like that. But I'm just letting you know that, like,
that's real
we're
close.
Right there. We're close. You know what I mean? Anyways, back to it. I'm sorry.
I love
Tim, what do
this.
you want to be? You want to be in the MCU or you want to be in Star Wars? No power,
Yeah,
no
it's
promise
MCU.
of powers.
Yeah,
MCU,
I'm with you because it's like I ain't getting fucking powers. So which universe am I
Dude, Star Wars
safest
would
in?
suck the most.
Star Wars universe sucks.
I've been thrown into this. I wanted to be in the Star Wars universe. It's me, Archangel Darth Youngboy. I got my wish. I'm going to Star Wars land. Boop. And you show up there and you're not a Jedi. You're not a Sith. You're just working on some shitty fucking sand planet. You know what I mean? It's disgusting. There's no like soap or running water in this place. You got a bunch of weird, snotty green characters walking around all the time.
I mean,
I'd beg a stormtrooper to try to shoot me.
I've seen a lot of Star Wars stuff. I've read Star Wars comics, I've read books, I've watched shows, I've watched the movies, obviously played games and stuff. There's never been a single city on a single planet that I'm like, that's a Tim Gettys lifestyle type thing. I think Kamino's probably closest where the clones are. Everything's bright white and there's not much going on. White and blue, that's it. But it's just like, besides that,
all right, before
sterile,
Coruscant gets
Kevin, come
blown
close to your
up-
microphone. It sounds like you're leaning way far back.
Yeah, I was. My bad. Before Coruscant gets blown up, like a planet-sized city. Come on,
yeah, but like the thing is,
Coruscant's
there's
fucking
so much,
awesome. You want to live in
there's more seedy
Naboo?
underbelly. Too much seedy underbelly, too much democracy, too
Tim,
much
there's a
bullshit
lot of
motherfuckers at
seedy.
the top.
There's a lot of
though.
gross. Well, yeah, it got blown up. There's a lot of
Everything's
right.
blown up
Coruscant get blown up in the
Everything got blown up. They
7,
blew up,
right?
like, remember they had the one thing that was split into 10 things and blew up every like planet, and now all that's left are space stations and drugs.
I think it was
Coruscant
just
not
it
one
was
of
just
those
on,
planets.
really.
That was the Hoisan system. Of
Well, it was so well laid out that it was hard to forget what planets got.
Wait,
all the
Hoisan,
characters
isn't
we
that
know
the
and
brand that makes sriracha?
the sauce?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's also the name of the district of planets.
But all right, so you wouldn't want to live on Coruscant like that. That place looked dope. Like
No,
you
because
played
Kev, you were
Jang-
were
the
getting to the point.
Bounty
You
Hunter.
were getting to the point that San Francisco also has seedy underbelly.
Yep.
It has elements of that, but it also has a lot of other good things. Coruscant doesn't. We've never seen that. We've only seen either bars that you're gonna get shanked in, or roofied for sure, or a bunch of government motherfuckers being assholes with special powers and religion.
here's the thing.
Jetster's diner though.
You got to
Good
play
mozzarella
sweater. You're
sticks,
gonna
they're
see a
popular.
lot more prettier sides of Star Wars.
And you're also going to see a lot
Planets.
of deserts you got to live in, and you got all these crazy Sith just running up killing you.
That's
for
the
no
thing. You
reason.
don't have to live on it. Like you can take transport, move somewhere else, sell a couple
Canto
death
bites.
sticks, make your
Got it.
fortune.
I'm living here. Marvel Universe, because nothing changes.
Everything
Easy,
blows up
except there's
all the
superpowers
time.
out there.
Yeah, that's the thing is like, yeah, maybe we did the whole episode where we snapped people. You know what I mean?
They
Who
got
knows
back.
what's
They came
gonna
back.
happen.
They came back.
Yeah, we didn't know.
We already.
Yeah, you
You've
didn't know
gotten
that at the
remarried.
time, though.
Yeah,
Or your wife's gotten remarried. You know what I
you
mean?
get snapped.
It's heartbreaking.
You come back. Nothing happened. Not a
Paul,
big deal.
wait for me.
Also, you might get cool mutant powers, like I get to regenerate stuff, and I have
No, but,
thicker
like,
hair.
The
But you
counterpoint to the there's bad things in both. Like planets are just destroyed on the regular in Star Wars, and like just
No, come
destroyed.
on.
Like
No,
Alderaan is
no, no.
gone. Alderaan.
Alderaan
the
and like
pro- the-
7 other planets got blown up.
The big downside for Star Wars is that every 7 years, a like Nazi-esque empire comes to power, and then you have to live under that regime.
Mhm.
Whereas here, we're golden, man. We got Biden. We're good. We voted him.
You think Biden's the MCU? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, Biden's empty. I mean, Biden's definitely not the empire. I don't think, unless depending on what.
Yeah, but we
Reddit
just,
thread, John.
got done with 4 years of Donald Trump.
Exactly, dude. We got him out of there, right? Rebellion. We rebel. This is a rebellion, right? We rebel.
Not even in the movie. Not
I
even in
know.
the fucking movie.
Cool line.
Yeah, they cut
Instead,
it out.
she was
They cut it
like,
out.
Gary Whitta.
She's like,
You know?
hope, John.
This is like it sounds like a really bad John Lennon impression you're doing.
Is
Really
Beatles.
bad.
Frank, I want you to know that it went from being Star Wars to being Ygritte from Game of Thrones. Like immediately. Let me start. No, it started with Biden, and then somehow ended up with Ygritte from Game of Thrones. So I
It's
appreciate
been a
it.
long week, guys. It's been a long week of content. I was on Josh
It's
McCouga's
Wednesday.
positivity report.
It's a
this morning.
4-day week.
Yeah, it was brutal. Brutal day for me.
Brutal out here.
Hard to hear
Ladies
from
and
Tim.
gentlemen, this has been the Kind of Funny podcast. Each and every week, 4, sometimes 3 best friends gather on this table, coming to bullshit about whatever it is they want to bullshit about. If you like that, of course, you should be part of the show. Patreon.com/kindafunny. Of course, over there, you can get the show live. You could be watching as recorded. You could write in to be part of the show. You can get the show ad free, and you can get the post show we're about to do. That's all about what, Nick?
Friends. The Friends
We're going to talk about
reunion.
the Friends reunion. We're going to talk about the Friends reunion over there. If you have no bucks tossed our way, it's no big deal. You can get each and every episode on youtube.com/kindafunny. You get on podcast services around the globe. Of course, no post show. You got to do the ads, but no big deal. You're still having fun and it's free. No matter where you get the show, please consider like, subscribe, sharing, leave a review, hit the notification bell, do all the bells and whistles to help us get the podcast to other people. For now, we have to talk about the Friends reunion. But until next time, it's been our pleasure to serve you.